Tonight I had so much fun, and I felt like like sometimes I go out and I don't always feel safe when I'm out because not because look, it's not like I'm against guys approaching people. I know that sometimes happens. It's the way it's natural. I'm not saying that I don't feel that people shouldn't approach people. I just think people need to be thinking about how it might affect people as well because some people aren't comfortable having people come up to them all the time. Sometimes, as a girl, I'm not out to always do anything sexual. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But I'm not like out there searching for it. I just happen to go out with friends and I want to have fun, or I want to just chill out for an evening, or sometimes I get sick of being cooped up in my flat sometimes, so sometimes I just want to go out for a couple of hours, play a bit of pool, and then go home again. I don't always drink as well. I'm not out drinking all the time, and I don't always have the money for it, so it always depends on what I can afford sometimes, and sometimes I want to go out and just join my friends and talk to people. Sometimes I just want to just chill out and uh, play a bit of pool or read a book in a pub somewhere. Sometimes I don't want any company. I'm happy to go to a place on my own. And other times I just don't go anywhere. I stay at home and I'm happy to be at home and just not go anywhere. I have days where I want to go and do stuff, and there's days I don't. And I'm not. I don't have any issues with that. But I think the issues I've had when I go to places, and it's not I have an issue with people coming on to me. It's more I don't know. It's more the feeling like I'm trying to set up boundaries right now, like about how I feel about people, because at the moment, like, I find it uncomfortable when guys approach me and like ask me out and stuff. It's not that they're asking me out. I think it's just the feeling that I don't feel like I don't feel up for it. And it would be one thing if they left me alone and didn't. It was just, oh, okay, you're not into it, leave me alone. It's that I had some guys seem to assume that I'm up for it, and they don't sort of go away on it. And I feel like there's some people that just hang about too much, and I'm like just trying to have fun. Tonight was the first time I managed to have fun dancing and doing stuff without people being too much in my face. And I had fun with people without feeling like it was necessarily people out to get to me. They just wanted to have fun with me because I was having fun myself. And that was it. No one was trying to get with me or anything. And I felt good tonight. And I was just enjoying the music and what I was there to appreciate. And it was a good night. It was a really good night. I felt safe and I felt like I could be out with my friends and enjoy being out with friends, without feeling insecure. And it's not anyone's fault. I know it's I shouldn't always go on about it, and it's just because it's fresh on my mind. Like um, so people so one guy I dated recently commented that I seem to keep trudging up the past. It's all in the past. It's why are you bringing up the past? And I'm saying it. If it was in the past, if it was just something that yeah, it happened last year, or yeah, some things have happened in my childhood, those are in my past, that would be one thing. It's when it's current and people go, oh, it's all in the past. No, there are issues. When you know how predators work, when you know how people approach you when it's gone wrong, people make you think that you're being paranoid when you see the danger signs. When you're seeing a danger sign and you're thinking, hang on a minute, this isn't right. What's going on here? Why is, like I saw, like one day I was in the pub, I saw two men plan to ask me, one targeted me and one else targeted my friend. And my back went up because I was like, oh no. And so I had to stop talking to the guy that approached me just to make sure my friend was okay. And and it wasn't that she was fine, but it was just I suddenly I saw a bit of a danger sign because I felt like they weren't like being it looked like it was planned, and even though she was being nice and just like not being friendly, but like it was almost like they were being insistent and stuff. So I was just making sure my friend was okay, and she was fine, but it was just a feeling that the guy wouldn't leave her alone even if she was saying no, type of thing. And we sort of look out for each other when we're in venues and stuff, because we find that if we don't watch out for it, it can blow up in our faces, sort of thing. So but people seem to think we're being paranoid, or I'm being paranoid, or I have issues. And yes, I guess I do have issues, because it's not like it's not happening, and the problem is like these things can happen really quickly, and when people don't look or notice it. And so I'm not trying to, and I suppose it's part of my anxiety, I guess, when I think something's dangerous is about to happen. But it's when I know it is actually happening, and people make it out like I'm crying wolf or something, and I'm not. And so it's not in my past. If it was just in my past, then I would let it go. I would I wouldn't go on about it. But I think girls know, or people know, that it can be really dodgy out there for girls. And I spoke to some girls today in the pub earlier, and they were just out having fun, and guys were all over them, telling them like, oh, one guy approached one of the girls who was wearing a short skirt, saying, oh, well, something's wrong with my eyes. I keep looking down at where your skirt is, and I went, that's just so inappropriate. Why do you feel the need to come up and say shit like that to girls? Like, that's not fair. It's like, it's not like I'd go up to saying, oh, I don't want to look at your face because your balls are in my way. I wouldn't say that to a guy. If I did, that would get me into trouble. So why do guys think it's okay to just make comments and make it seem like, oh, that's something that girls want to hear on a night out? No, we don't. We don't want to hear shit like that. It's one thing saying you look beautiful, or I like your hair, or something like that. That's one thing. But it's quite another when you make some sort of sexual innuendo that's a bit inappropriate, and it's just like, oh, go away. Just go away. you know, just go away. But, we're trying to have our own fun without it, without feeling like we're having to justify what we're wearing, and I think that's the other thing that comes up is like, oh, it's something to do with what we're wearing, or what with, it has nothing to do with that. And people always do the thing of like, people think that men can't control themselves, and that's the argument, like, oh, men can't control themselves around women, so women have to dress a certain way in order to. That's bullshit. A genuine guy can control themselves around women, even if they really like them, even if and so most genuine guys know how to control themselves around women. I've got plenty of friends who find me attractive but won't like go with me sexually, because they know they won't they don't I don't feel the same way, or they respect me as a person, or they respect me as my friend. And you've got we respect each other's boundaries and stuff. So if you can have friendships with men that won't go that far, that goes to show that if you can't. Not all men are pigs. Not all men are trying to get with you, and the same with not all women are trying to bring it on with men. But I know all the time I get there's probably women that do that as well, but not all women. And it's just like, yeah, it's always made to be like somewhat that women are always coming on to men and making and then pulling away, and maybe they are, or but at the end of the day, you have to be, you have to understand that women can make they can make a decision and change their mind, and at the end of the day, you have to suck up and deal with it. If you don't like it, that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, like, women shouldn't feel that they have to be unsafe because of the way they wear things or how they go out in public. At the end of the day, it shouldn't come down to that, and it's got nothing to do with what you wear at the end of the day. And I'm not saying I walk out inappropriately as well. People probably think like I'm new, I'm wearing sexy dresses and stuff like that, but I'm not like inappropriate. I wear shorts under my shorter dresses because I'm quite realistic. I live in Swindon and I don't really want to be naked walking around Swindon myself. So, I wear shorts underneath short skirts and stuff, and I wear trainers majority of the time because I can't walk in heels and stuff like that. So I'm never gonna be like totally wearing unpractical stuff. And at the end of the day, like, people who respect you won't touch you up or won't make you feel uncomfortable at the end of the day. And that's the most important thing. When you realize that, that's when people are genuine. Anyway, I wanted to touch on that subject because I've met a couple of guys recently who I was dating who made me feel like that it was I was trudging up the past or whatever, and I'm not. If it was just the past, then that would be one thing, but it's just that I seem to keep meeting a lot of people who just don't respect my boundaries, and that's it. They're just not respecting my boundaries, or they're making me out to be like closed off or something. And I suppose I am closed off at the moment in that regard, because I don't want anyone who's I said to a person, I want to be person first, not sex object first. I want to be, if you're going to come and talk to me as a person, not as an object you want to fuck. At the end of the day, I'm a person, and you treat me anything less, then I'm not interested, even if it is only for even if it is a fling or something that doesn't last. If you treat me less than a person, then I'm not interested. That's my philosophy on it. It doesn't matter if you're in with me for a night or a weekend or life. At the end of the day, I'm a person and I deserve respect. And if I don't feel I'm respected, then I won't go with you. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that's my philosophy on that. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a good night. I'm going to go to bed now, and thank you anyway.